yeah. Beyond the vows, where the truth gets real. Faith and love, yeah, that's the deal. WC and Maria, bringing that glow. Tuesday nights is the show you gotta know.
Love ain't a moment, it's a movement we found. Beyond the vows, where the real talk sounds. From single to married, decades deep. Together we rise, where the promise is key.
Lessons in laughter, faith in the mix. Every story a bond, every challenge a fix.
SKST,
Tune in, don't be late.
7 p.m.
Band chill,
Let's elevate. So come vibe with us. Take a seat, take a bow. We're diving deep beyond the vows. Ooh.
Hello. Good evening. We have tissues because we're quarantined in our living room with our this heater because we've had snow. And remember the scene from Color Purple when Suge came to the house and she was, and Mr. and Celie was at the stand and they said, that's what she said. We're sick. Yeah, we're sick. Honestly. Hey, welcome to a disease-free, a allergy-free Beyond the Vows. We're back. Yes, we're back. And as you can see today, is Veterans Day. Yeah. And I am so grateful to have served in the United States Air Force, the only branch there is. But I love all the branches. And so to all our fellow veterans who have served to make this country great, regardless of who's saying make it great again, we're still great because of the veterans, because of who served, those that went before us. So we just want to thank you. Honey, how you feeling?
A little on the nasally side. So my apologies, everyone. If I sound a little raspier than what I'm usually, it's because that post-nasal drip is going to be tripping today. And the change of weather. Oh my goodness.
I think you sound sexy myself.
I was going to say, well, your shoes.
I'm about to take my shoes off, So.
But before we go any further, we want to let everybody know, put this disclaimer out there. We're not professional.
Yep, just married, So anyway, as always, just want to thank our awesome sponsors, Deaf Child Hope International. DeafChildHope.org is where you can go and support and sponsor a deserving child in one of these countries they are experiencing poverty on a large scale, but to make it worse, they're all deaf. And your sponsorship will help those children, those kids to be able to change their life, okay? So go to deafchildhope.org and sponsor a child today, okay? It'll change their life. You get a chance to write their child. They get the chance to write you. And it's just the most rewarding thing there is. So Deaf Child Hope International, deafchild.org, okay? And we're also sponsored by SKST Radio. Yeah. And so go to www.skstradio.com and listen. The podcast is for you. We are waiting for you. Okay, the world is waiting to see your podcast. Okay, so if you want to do that, hit that up today.
Please get in contact with Cammie. She will hook you up and give you everything, all the tools that you need to get your podcast started.
Yeah,
someone has to hear your voice. Yeah,
and I was looking online. There's so many podcasts that are out there.
They are.
I look at so many people from NBC. They've got podcasts, and it's just all of a sudden everybody's doing podcasts. So if you want to do it, you want to do the best, do it here. Okay.
Yeah.
So look, this is November,
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, before we're gonna talk about so you know the part about paint by numbers.
Heard of
You
it.
know, when you paint by numbers, when you paint by numbers, what do you hope to accomplish?
A nice picture.
A nice picture. So tonight we're gonna talk about marriage by numbers. That's right, marriage by numbers. Because as you paint by numbers to get a perfect picture or something that you want to frame, and we're gonna talk to you about marriage by the numbers, so you could have not a perfect marriage, but something that you would be really proud of, you and your spouse. Okay. So I always tell people, you know, we can research a lot of stuff, but there's nothing like. So I write it down, I put it out, you know, because we'll have something to go. Because you know when you get something like you know me, sometimes I get all the timers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All the timers, you know. But I want to be able to go back, and then if I don't do something that I'm supposed to do, you can pull out the paper and say, do you remember? Yep, I got it. That's another great thing is, you know, to memorize is great. But couples, we study a lot and just look up stuff. And it's crazy. Like we was watching the movie when Lisa Cole Jam. And, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I'm nosy. I want to know what happened to the person after the movie, before the movie's over.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit there, but I'll tell you what happened, just like I already knew it, you know, make myself look good. But anyway, so Thanksgiving is coming, and we have been in this government shutdown, and it's been really hard on families.
Absolutely. I cannot tell you how many lives have been changed. Not only for those that are in the federal government and haven't been able to go to work, but you think about the children of these parents, the ones that are trying to support each other,
Right.
and they're not able to because they're dependent on that check to come through or their job to come through, and it's so sad, you know. But we got to gather. We have to gather together as a people and
Right.
as a community, and to help each other
Right.
out
Right.
in our time of need.
This is testing time for couples.
Yeah.
One spouse was working
Oh,
with the
yeah.
government and is laid off, but the other spouse doesn't. They still getting a paycheck, you know. Then all the that goes on that other spouse, and that could be, you know, a really hard time, you know, having to pull everything on one income,
Yeah.
you know, and that puts a strain on the
Put a
relationship.
strain on relationship. Put a strain, especially for the man, because he is
Yeah.
the quote unquote king of his castle, and because he's king of the castle, sometimes he may feel defeated
Yeah.
in that particular
Yeah.
way. But let us encourage you men who are out here and all those that are going through this. I'm telling you, God's going to do it. God is going to bless you one way, form, or fashion. God is going to do it. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to give in. I just want you to be encouraged on today. And, you know, we understand where you're coming from. And you wives, y'all encourage your husband, you know, because this is the time where he's going to need that encouragement from you. You know, if you take the time, you know, the word of God said, if my people who are called by my name humble
Himself and pray. Yeah.
turn from the wicked ways, then and seek God's face, he said, then he'll hear from heaven, forgive sin and heal our land.
Mhm.
You know, this is when our wives, I guess this is our responsibility and our role as wives is to come together and say, hey, you know what? I got to pray for my husband because this is something that's been is devastating to our family. We got to pull together
Right,
as one
right.
and make it count because our children are watching us. You know, it's like, what do you do when you're in situations like that? How do you respond? How do you react?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And here's another good tip. Going through this. Brothers, man, go in your closet, go through your pants pockets of every pants you got. Because I was in church and we were blessed in some.
Tell me the whole story, Will. Tell me.
What part of it?
Okay, so listen, we was in church on last Sunday, and just some of our members were affected,
By the shutdown.
right?
Right.
And they weren't able to, pay bills, mortgage, house, feed their families and everything. And trust me, like we understand, we have families, all of us, especially if we got more than 2 kids. Woo, that's a lot, But anyway, and the Lord was just blessing.
Shout out to Bishop Felicia Hastings of the Renewal Outreach Center for letting the Lord use her like she did. I'll go ahead.
Yes, and the ministry was able to bless 3 families.
Was it like $1,000 each?
Yeah, it was like $1,000.
$1,000. I mean, this is a small congregation, and so I wanted to sow a seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to sow a seed.
Y'all listen.
And I'm sitting at the piano playing, and I'm thinking I'm going in my pocket to get a mint or something. I ain't getting a mint, and I reach in my pocket. It's a $20. I'm thinking it was a tissue. It was a $20 bill. So I went and sowed that seed. And then after church, the kids were selling nachos and what have you. And I said, I don't really want Cash App nobody. And then I looked at my little bag, and the nachos were $6.
And you had
Drinks
exactly
$1 each. I had eight $1 bills. And we rode down the street eating nachos and drinking drink. Guys, go through, and I got home. I went through every pants pocket that I had at home. I ain't find nothing. No, I did find 20 cents in one of my sweatpants.
Will, you a trip.
Yeah.
All that
I'm
to
a soda.
say, all that
How
to
do you pay
say,
tithes on 20%? On 20 cents?
Will,
Oh, two pennies?
okay, God help him.
Oh, yeah.
All that to say is that all is not lost. I just want y'all to be encouraged because we're all in this together. We're praying that deeply for you and with you, because our children have been affected by it too. And it calls for our children to have to make life alter decisions. Some of them have to come back to the house because they're not able to afford things. Thank God that we have a place that they can come to.
But they never have to worry about that because we have our food ministry.
Yeah.
And you know how the kids say they don't never have to make groceries as long as mom and pop is doing it. You know what I'm saying? But this is really the time for couples to really, merge, really lean on each other during this crisis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why it's good to have reserves because in further shows we're going to talk about the financial thing, financial makeup, how to prepare, for the inevitable or prepare for emergencies where we're not struggling and stuff like that. So couples, please, you got to be go ahead, baby.
What I was going to say was that this right here shows us as couples, married couples, that this is not just the only time should we come. This should be a continual thing because there are going to be times when I'm down and I'm going to need him. And when you're down, you need to pull me up. And I'm not saying, y'all, when life brings you lemons, you be creative. You make lemonade. Make a lemon pie. All right? You make lemon chicken. What else can you make with that lemon, Will? Lemon bars.
You put the pepper with it. You can have lemon pepper chicken.
That too. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that whenever life brings you, be creative. God has given you so much knowledge. God has given you so much abilities, women and men, it's just amazing what two can just do.
That's right. Especially if you take mango and add that to that lemon.
Well,
oh my God.
Mango and lemon.
Mango lemon. You said the two.
Never mind.
You just said if you add the two.
But that's not the example I was trying to say. Okay. But anyway, God help him, Jesus. Wow, this is what I have to go through on a daily. So
you love it. You love it.
Anyway.
So listen tonight. We were talking about paid by numbers, marriage by numbers. Okay.
What do you mean marriage by numbers?
Marriage by the numbers. Okay. Numbers have, like, for instance, what our number is 111. Because at 1:11 in the afternoon was the very first time I heard your voice. So pick 3, 111. So listen, I'm going to talk tonight about the 777 rule.
Okay, what's that, Will?
The 777 rule. Okay. So 777 rule is a relationship guideline that involves, check this out, dedicating intentional quality time to a partner.
Okay.
Okay. A date night every 7 days, an overnight getaway every 7 days. Every 7 weeks.
Okay.
And then kid-free vacation every 7 months.
Okay, so you said
777.
so every 7 days.
Have a date night.
Okay.
Right. Every 7 weeks, have an overnight stay
Somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, weekend. And then every 7 months, do an extended stay. Okay. And mind you, now all these
Extended stay, you mean a vacation?
A bay. You said bay.
BAE.
What's a vacation?
A vacation.
Okay.
Just you and your honey.
Your
no children.
A vacation, uninterrupted, no distractions, just you and the bay. Every 7 months.
Okay, so all right.
So, first of all, what's the key to sticking to, with everything that goes on, especially the couples that are in business together, couples who are in ministry together, when they have certain things they just have to do. How can that date night happen every 7 days?
I think first of all, you have to plan. You have to plan because everybody's schedule is different. You need to plan for that. And I know it can be hard sometimes, but got to get it started. Because in order for us to keep the momentum and to keep the excitement, you got to continue in what you were doing before you got married. So
is it wrong to, okay, for instance, if Wednesday is a day that nothing's really going on, okay, we say, well, it's nothing's going on, we'll just throw in Wednesday. Does that take away the importance of picking a day, or just saying, yeah, let's just take a day where we ain't doing nothing? But the important thing is you have a date night. So much should be put into that.
And I think it should be an effort. I know
like nonchalant say that's the day we'll do it.
I don't want to be nonchalant in anything that I do.
Right. Do not be nonchalant. Be intentional. That's why I say be intentional.
I would rather have something that, and like with these dates, you don't always have money. You don't always have that. So if you want to just get some popcorn and some Raisinets, or what's some other ones that you like?
I don't eat Raisinets.
Well, I do.
I'll eat goobers.
Popcorn.
Goobers.
And get his goobers.
Yeah, but do something at home. Pick a nice fun activity.
Yeah, that you can do, or play different types of games or whatever, or have a nice candlelight dinner.
Yeah, like spin the bottle.
He always wants to go there. Every time we get up here, he always wants to go.
I got a Mountain Dew bottle. And just the trajectory when you spin it, it's just, so I got to write certain things on there that I want you to do, but the bottle's fixed.
Anyway, so you're saying that the bottle's fixed to do what you want it to do?
Yes. Oh, I done told you the secret.
Yeah, we're going to get a new bottle.
So what, could you be like, I don't know, baby. It's the bottle. I can't control gravity.
I'm really praying for you.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as playing spades, 2-hand spades.
Yep.
Or
what's the one that we played?
Pin the tail on the donkey.
God, boy.
I can't remember what game it was.
It wasn't that.
Okay. Chase Me Now. That was it. Chase Me Now.
Chase Me Now. How does that go?
Well,
Never mind. Anyway, that never mind, because he gonna tell us.
you can make up games.
Well, you're so silly. Oh my God.
But
Lord have mercy.
what we're saying is just, you don't always have to go out. Just keep the fun.
Yeah, I guess whatever it is that you guys like to do, even if it's like a walk in the park, or either going to the gym together, or rubbing his feet. God, pray, y'all help me. Rubbing his feet, massaging his feet and stuff like that. I don't mind doing that, y'all. I'm just picking. I don't mind doing
The
that.
best toenail clipper in the
Oh my
planet.
God. No, he didn't
Oh
say
my
that.
God. Sometimes I'll just tell a fib and say, oh, my toe is messed up. I need you to cut it. And she'll say, just turn over,
They so silly.
Little things like that. And even that turns me on, girl. I'm telling you. The way you hold that clip in your hand, I'll be like, oh, sucky now. So that's what we're talking about. Buying little bitty things that keep the fire.
Yeah. Just the little things to me matters than the big things to me.
Right.
So all right, so we're talking about the date night.
Right.
So what about the 7? What was it? Another 7 was
well, look. Also, it says this is a structured way to ensure couples regularly connect they said regularly reconnect, okay, which can reduce stress,
okay.
increase emotional intimacy,
All right.
and reignite romance in their relationship. And the key is to prioritize this time, even if it requires creativity with a busy schedule or budget. That's the same thing we just did, taking that time. And the other thing is to be open when it doesn't happen. Okay? If there are situations that are just totally beyond our control, like the other night, my wife said, I want to create new memories.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, that really stuck with me when she said that. So I went on and booked go-kart. Didn't tell her where we were going.
Oh God.
I told her we was going to ride it. And I didn't tell her until but before we got ready to leave, we had a visitor. Well, not a visitor. We ended up with grandparent duty.
Yeah.
So instead of us, but we made it happen.
Yeah.
Instead of us being able to ride the go-karts together, we took turns.
Mm-hmm.
But poor Maria, when she went on there, somebody ran into the back of her, and I didn't see her on the screen, whatever. And she was just so shaken up, and I felt so bad. But you did say at least we made the effort.
Yeah. And it was more, to me, it was more so the effort in trying to do something different that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
And even in spite of us having an altercation, well, not an altercation, but something different that fell in our laps at the last minute. We still made it happen.
Yeah.
And even though that person hit me in that go-kart, it caused me to be a little shaken up. Okay? I was shaken up, I had a headache, and everything.
She said, just take me home.
I said, yeah, I was ready to go home. But anyway, I came home.
But
it's the thought behind it.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't have done nothing. We could have just said forget it.
Right.
Right.
And
but I think that's a point too, Will.
And I just felt so good inside of what I was thinking, and it shouldn't make you guys, it shouldn't make you feel some kind of way when you think of something to do for your spouse and can visualize how she will accept it, what her response is going to be. And sometimes the response is bigger than making the plan. It is.
It could be sometimes. I know sometimes it's not that I'm hard to please, but I think he might think so, right? Right.
I don't stop me lying.
Oh, anyway, but
Yeah.
it was the thought behind it
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
really meant more than anything
Yeah.
to me.
Now, every 7 weeks, take a trip.
I like that.
Overnight trip.
I like that because it gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah. So is it all right? So for instance, if we live next door to a hotel, and I said we're gonna spend a night at this hotel next door to where we live, but no, I'm saying, but it's still getting away. You know, you're not at home. You're in a hotel, so you have to visit. Remember, guys, let me tell you something. When I say be creative, I'll be creative. So one year, our anniversary, we couldn't go where we wanted. We were supposed to go to the water or some beach or something. And I said, you know what? I went and got them champagne glasses from the Dollar Tree, and we went right to the pool in our apartment complex, and we took pictures, just like we was in Florida.
Y'all, because I didn't know what the heck he was doing.
That was the mindset, you know. We couldn't go where we wanted to go, but we still got in the water, you know, and had champagne by the. Well, I don't know if it was champagne. I think it was ginger ale or something, you know. But we made it, man. We made that thing look like we were somewhere. We didn't lie and say we was in there. We just said enjoying our anniversary. And people was going, "Oh, I'm glad y'all can get away," and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what they wanted to say. I ain't changed it anyway. You know, I didn't change it anyway. But look, when we come back from this break from our sponsor, we're going to talk about what to do every 7 months, okay? And then we're going to get into how to make it work, how to make all this work according to these two people who are married, okay? Stay tuned.
Patrick Otema is 15 years old. He was born deaf, but in this remote region of northern Uganda, there are no schools for deaf children. In his whole life, Patrick's never had a conversation.
Hello. Good?
His father, Charles, looks after him. They are only able to communicate through very basic gestures.
Look, madam, watch a look kidoga kitakuwa logo ne. Penyang, eto aramo timukin maini nyara wayano ko kwankwer cher porno aporo.
We've been sitting here talking about Patrick in front of him, and while he's been watching us, he doesn't understand what we're saying. It feels almost rude. But this is what Patrick's life is like all the time.
I'm here with someone who wants to change all that. Raymond Okello is deaf himself and a sign language teacher.
Do you think he could learn sign language? This is pretty much Patrick's existence. His father gestures to him what he wants him to do, and when he's finished, he goes back to his hut to spend the rest of the day on his own.
Patrick's fate is not unusual. The majority of deaf people in sub-Saharan Africa have never been taught sign language. Unable to communicate with others, they are trapped in their own minds.
Again, don't forget deafchildhope.org. Go please sponsor one of these kids. It's going to change your life. So before we went to break, we were talking about marriage by the numbers, 777.
Go there. Can I interject this?
Go ahead.
Earlier in the podcast, we were talking about Thanksgiving. We were talking about, coming together as a community, coming together as a people. So we would like to thank everyone at SKST Radio that was able to contribute monetary gifts to bless 3 families for Thanksgiving. We are just so blessed. See what we can do when we just come together.
Come together.
And all of us, we on the same thing. It doesn't matter, you know, what, but you know, every little, you know, become, you know,
Little becomes much.
And now 3 families that didn't have anything now are able to feed their family. It's about 10. It's 10 people per family. That's
a lot. That's a lot. And did you see how big them turkeys were?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
And the thing about it that blessed me so much is that what they thought we was going to get, we was able to get the best of the best. Butterball.
Butterball.
Come on, boo. Butterball.
A shameless disclaimer.
Yep. So
sorry, Tyson. Sorry, Tyson.
Thank you to all the SKST
our radio partners.
Thank you so much. Yeah. It's just been a blessing.
Yeah,
it
really was great. Yeah, and listen, and you know, I also got a chance to, and we're gonna get back to our 777. I got a chance to go to Cooper's Restaurant, which is in Portsmouth, Virginia, and they made spaghetti dinners for people who have been affected by the shutdown.
Wow.
There were so many folk out there, and then I was able to get some gift boxes to give away, and cookies, and and then not only did they get the physical food, but they had a prayer team over there, and they came through. Everyone said asked for prayer. It was just great. Shout out to Cooper's Restaurant.
Yeah.
And also J&K Style Grill, they gave out cheeseburgers, hamburgers, and chips and lemonade to first responders.
Wow.
Out there in the cold.
Wow.
It was, I'm telling you, savage. I love giving music guys. So look, we basically kind of said this 777. Date night every 7 days. Overnight every 7 weeks. And a long trip every 7 months. Okay? Now, in this climate, we don't want to say what we're restricted to do, because with God, everything is possible, you know. And then sometimes when you want to be realistic, if you really have it, if we don't have it. So that was one of the things I was looking at. It says to be flexible, okay? You got to be flexible, and that's the framework, okay?
Right.
That's the framework, because when you're not flexible, then attitudes ensue. Doggone, we can't go on date night. You know what I'm saying? And that can just ruin your whole night. You know, just that. But you got to look at, and then you always talk about communication, right?
Right.
You know, so.
But the key to it is telling your spouse or explaining to them, hey, this came up or whatever, but it can't be something that happens all of the time.
Right. See, then it says, if the exact timing doesn't work, then adjust it to fit your reality. So that was so good. And then include love dates. Now, what is the difference between date night and love date? What do you think?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'll ask you first.
Well, you don't want to.
I give up what? Oh, no.
You funny.
So even if you can't get away, schedule love dates at home without phones or distractions to focus on each other. So take this game. And so I told Maria, I said, we're going to stare at each other for like 1 minute. Whoever blinks has to give the other one the biggest, sloppiest kiss on the planet.
When did you say that?
I lost.
Oh, you're so silly.
Man, to make it play, you know what I'm saying? So, but the basic thing is to prioritize it like any other appointment. You know, we think doctor's appointments are important. Getting to work is important. And I just feel like in that scheduling time with your spouse should be just as important as going to your 9 to 5.
It is. And with all the stuff that's going on, you know, I'm telling you, like I said, it's just time for us, married couples or dating couples or whatever that is, for us to do what we have to do. You know, there are going to be some sacrifices that we're going to have to make, you know, and that is something that you just do. You know, it's like there's no question. There should be nothing that I should not be able to do for him. And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Right?
Vice versa. Because nothing worse than a boring marriage, especially when you get her age. I mean, older. You know what I'm saying? Ugh.
You say get her age.
Ugh.
Well, I'm a lot younger than
Ugh.
you, sir.
Okay.
He
That's
said
right.
it.
That's right. You're not a cougar. Yeah, I do reverse cougar. But cougars don't like a woman, right? What's a man? Cat?
Yeah, you are
A man
a
is,
sugar daddy.
Daddy.
No,
What is Z?
no,
I can
daddy.
be daddy and you're daddy.
Oh my God.
I love when you call me Big Papa.
Y'all see what I gotta go through.
I tell you,
All
the
the
first time
damn-
I met her, I spoke in tongue. I got real spiritual. I saw her. I said, come on outside. I want to see you. And she came outside and saw me too. And I've been speaking in tongue ever since. Hey, Shaka, come on, Shaka, do. Okay. Well, but so now you've got some numbers. Marriage by number. What do you have?
What you gave me was the 369 rule. in
369. 69.
Well, we're not talking about
I
that.
didn't make that up. That's how it came.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. The 369 rules in relationship.
That's different than 67. That's what you do me now, and I owe you one.
Jesus. Okay.
Okay.
It's an informal timeline for a new partnership or with 3 distinct phases to help access its long-term potential.
3 what?
It's 3 phases.
Okay, go ahead.
First phase is honeymoon phase. This is the initial, often exhilarating period of a new relationship.
Now, stop right there. Stop right there. I want you to read it again.
This is the initial,
This is the initial. Read.
often exhilarating
Often read.
period of a new relationship.
Period. That means stop. Go ahead. Read.
Of a new relationship.
A new relationship. Something that has not been in existence before. A new relationship. Read, sister. Read.
What you want me to go to the next one?
Oh, I just won't go right. Go to it. I feel like preaching. Come
Okay.
on. Read.
So with this stage, the focus is getting to know each other and experiencing high levels of attraction due to a feel good chemicals like, oxycodone,
Who?
oxycodone. I think I said that right.
Oxycodone. That's what I take for my
Oxytocin.
pain.
I mean, am I saying that wrong?
You are definitely saying it wrong.
Anyway,
Give me that. What are you trying to say?
look at the focus part.
Focus. I'm trying to focus. I can't. You know what? I can't even see. Well, whatever it is, you try to say. Oh,
So basically,
oxytocin. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Those are chemicals. That's the chemical I take too.
no, the chemicals that's in our body,
Right. So
it gives you a feel good.
that endorphins be.
Yeah, because I think the excitement of a relationship,
It's your nature.
the newness of the relationship keeps you so excited.
Yes, it does. I'm just trying to help.
Help, don't need help, boo.
Okay, you got this.
Okay.
Handle it. You handle this. You got this.
Hannah,
I trust you got this.
the excitement of the honeymoon stage. Oh my God, I get to see him. Oh my God, I get to see her. And that part.
So wait a minute. Let's talk about the honeymoon stage. Okay. Do we stay in? Do people should they stay in that honeymoon stage?
I mean, honestly, It don't last for so long. You know,
Well, I
sometimes
mean, what changes?
people change. Yeah. But in that particular honeymoon stage, that's when, you know, it's so exhilarating, so exciting. You get to see each other. Maybe it's the first time you're eating in front of each other, or the first time you see him look at you a certain way, or, you know, a certain time that he may open up the door for you you haven't seen before. You know, just different stuff like that. It's kind of like initial first time for all things, and you want to be on your best behavior. You want to make sure your makeup's right. You want to make sure your hair is did right.
You'll make sure you got
make
air
sure-
freshener in the bathroom and all that.
All that, yes, all that good stuff.
So when did that change? So when,
What do you mean? When does that change?
what I'm saying, 'cause we're still in that honeymoon stage, right? You want everything to be perfect, this, that, and the other. Then it comes time to go into the bathroom. And the husbands, y'all be like, wife is sitting on the toilet, and you just walk right in, and just start shaving, doing whatever, and the woman probably sitting there going, I know he just didn't come up here, you know, or
Yeah, because it's, I mean, it's like, because you gotta get used to that. Because, and I know for the first couple of months with you and I was like, okay, he didn't see me before, so all right, whatever. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
that could really be traumatic, you know,
It can be the first part of the first time,
because you're,
but it's something that you have to like gradually go
especially
into.
if you've been toilet trained, you know,
Well,
and you
boy,
did it by myself.
you're a mess. But
Yeah.
I mean, the excitement of the honeymoon. I'm not gonna say it goes away completely,
Right.
but there is sometimes where you know you do lose that spark.
Is it realistic that you can stay in that honeymoon phase in some respect?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it just all couples are
Yeah.
different.
And I think going back, you know, they always say don't go back. But I think just going back and remembering what brought you together, you know, what that initial time was, can just bring out so many great emotions, you know. And I think sometimes that should even be used when there's a disagreement, you know, and like you'd be like, oh, she make me mad. Hey, he make me mad. He just gets on my nerve. You know what I'm saying? And I think as a practice, I'm just throwing this out there. Just practice for a moment. Go back and think about, yeah, we had a disagreement. I'm mad at her right now, but what in my life would be without her or without him, okay? And not being together, that way more heavily than the argument that you have,
Right.
you know?
I think we need to start thinking like that.
And I think couples should really start practicing tools, you know,
I
to,
excuse me. Sorry.
um,
I just think sometimes we get so used to each other that we get stuck in that particular arena.
right.
And
Right,
that's not
right.
something that we should always do, because you know how it is when you have to go away somewhere and you're not with him,
Right.
you begin to miss him, you know. So and you don't want to imagine your life without him,
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Yeah,
You know, so and
Yeah.
stuff is always happening all of the time.
Okay,
So it's just always important.
gotcha. So
To keep that.
after the honeymoon stage,
All right.
we have what?
All right. And the 6 month stage.
So we got 3. So 3 is what? The honeymoon stage?
Mhm.
Okay, and then at 6 months will be what?
The conflict
The
stage.
conflict stage. So that means they don't come out of that honeymoon stage. That's the conflict.
Yeah, so it says the initial high begins to wear off and you begin to see more of each other. You begin to see flaws and habits and stuff. Like, for instance, keeping the toilet stool up, especially when you got to go to the bathroom. And y'all know us women, if the toilet stool is up, what's the first thing we're gonna do? Fall in.
Well, but that means that if they got a little butt, then that will fall in.
I
They
said fall in.
But I'm saying, but they got a butt, but they don't have that problem.
Still gonna fall in.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's why it's important. You pull that.
Well, half
pull
the
the
time,
seat
don't y'all just squat anyway?
You know what? You try. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say it up here because it wouldn't even be proper, and y'all probably.
I know this lady
wouldn't
said she just squatted because she grew up in an outhouse. So all she knew was just to squat. Even when she got a nice porcelain toilet, she would sit on it.
But when you're at home and it's yours, you can sit on your throne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's just not comfortable for us women to have to go through the toilet and take it around.
Oh, yeah.
Why should we have to fall in the water?
Yeah.
If we want to take a shower, all we gotta do is get in the shower. You understand what I'm saying?
So conflicts, like I said, that's the same thing I was thinking about, trying to find ways of dealing with conflicts. And first of all, being realistic, knowing that conflicts will come.
Yeah, but so say for instance, Will, what is one of the things that after the honeymoon stage was over for us, what was it that, I don't want to say it was a conflict, but it made you think like, why she do that? What do you think? That's something that I did that
Something
like,
that was
well, not really a conflict. It was like, because it's kind of like you got to get used to being in one home together. And, I got to get used to how you do things and first of all, I do things. And then, us come together.
Oh, I can tell the biggest conflict. This woman here, I can't take a shower with her because she has the water on hell. First time I went in there, I was almost screaming. Thought I was a lobster. And you just grinning and carrying on. I said, oh Lord. And as much as I love to want to do that, I said, I'm sorry, that's a conflict. I'm not doing that. I'll watch you, but I'm not getting in there with you.
So what are you trying to tell America? You don't like hot showers?
No, I like lukewarm showers. I don't want to get out the tub, my skin be peeling and stuff like that, and then I get a bit of Vaseline on me because I'm burning up.
It's not peeling, Will. You're getting clean.
That water is entirely too hot.
Well, you can adjust
I
it.
stand it.
What do you mean? How can I stand it? We take hot showers, don't we? Yes, ma'am. We got to clean.
Y'all ought to see the steam.
But
I can't really think of anything that was annoying. Because something conflicts can be annoying. Conflicts can be like something that I may feel that you don't feel, or something that I don't do, you don't do. And then that's when you have to decide during that 6 months. This is part of the 3-6-9.
Yeah,
so,
compromise.
Whether it's a conflict, because even before you go in there, you got to say, I know conflict's going to happen. What am I going to do when it rises its ugly head or its head period? Am I going to be prepared for it? How am I going to react to it? And I think that also, not just conflict, but communication, to say, hey, listen, I just want to tell you about, we've been through the honeymoon stage. We've made Google eyes at each other. We've done this, that, we kiss each other and all that kind of stuff. But we're getting some deep stuff, some things that I dealt with in the past, and if it comes up, I just want you to be aware of it. You understand? Like with the PTSD, a lot of times we keep that hidden because we're dealing with hurtful, traumatic things that happen in our military career that followed us outside the military career. And if you don't know, like if you're talking, I'm not talking. I don't want to talk, and you may not, well, why did you want to talk? It could have been a trigger or anything like that. So that's what, and I'm telling you guys, I've learned this from this woman here, that communication is the key. communicate. So on the 6th month, when the conflicts arise, you got to communicate.
Yeah, because that's important because you're talking to someone that's not used to what PTSD is. So the best way that I can learn about it is through you.
Right.
So you have to tell them these are triggers.
Right.
You have to communicate so that I have an understanding.
Yep.
Because without the understanding, you're going to get the same stuff all the time. And it's not going to change until you have to tell me,
Right.
hey, this is what's going on. And, you know, if I go to the right, this is what's happening. If I go to the left, this is that. You got to tell me because I don't understand it.
Right.
And that's the point that is so important in communicating with couples, because you're just trying to get two lives to come together as one and being a good, cohesive front. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Us standing together. You know, well, you may have one come together. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, and you know what? Something I just thought about, something very, very practical.
What?
Is to write stuff down. Like when the first conflict arises, write it down. On this date, this happened. You know,
what are you trying to keep score?
No, not keeping score. It's kind of like looking at what happened on that particular day, when that conflict came up that day. Then you can always go back. So what happened the day before? What happened the day after? How did we deal with that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just something practical. You know, don't forget, I'm not an expert. You know, I'm just married. So number 9 of that 6-9.
Decision making stage. If you're successful in navigating the previous stages, then you can move forward towards making decisions about your future. So basically, when we were just talking about the 6th one, that's when you start to navigate daily life, arguments, differences in communication styles and goals.
Right.
And what you should expect is in the crucial period, you should see how you will handle the conflict and where the relationship either deepens or shows more major incompatibilities. But if you communicate, you won't have that type of issue.
So people want to get to 9.
Yeah.
Once you get to 9, you know, that's 9 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to 9, it may not be, you may think it's smooth sailing because we've got over the rough patches, because 6 is going to come back every time.
Right.
You know,
but the thing about it is learning how to be together, learning how to put those two lives together as one. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Yeah. You know, you may not like your socks folded to the left. You know, I have to learn that. Mm-hmm. You know, I my socks or, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something that, you know, we have to learn.
Those little things.
And it's some people it's not. It's
let me tell you, some people are so territorial over their drawers.
Yeah, true.
I ain't talking about the drawers you wear. I'm talking about what's in the drawer. It be said a certain way. I do it because I had to find what I'm looking for. You know, I hate digging and stuff. But you know, this was good. So what we're saying, we got the 777 date night every 7 days. Go away every 7 weeks, at least tonight, and try every 7 months. Do a longer vacation, uninterrupted, and then always remember to be flexible. Be flexible and understanding, and communicate. You know what's going to happen. And sometimes you can't foresee, you know, something, but always have an alternative. Have an alternative plan.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? And then the 369 was, you know.
Mm-hmm. Then the 6th month was the
conflict stage.
And the 9th month was the of decision.
Decision. Yeah, decision. So if you got through the honeymoon stage and you got the comic stage, then you got to make a decision. You know, and 9 times out of 10, that decision is a no-brainer.
Yeah,
You've
because
made it through the difficult things.
hopefully by be able to maybe flow a little bit better. And then as you get older, go trust me, things about a female, especially after she has a baby, your body is going to change.
Yeah.
You know, some places may be a little bigger than others. Some things smaller than others, or the case is. But those are changes that she wasn't anticipating because it's never happened before. But especially when you have a second baby, and it's
and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth.
so on and so on and so on. So, and so it's an adjustment for the female because she got to adjust because she's not used to somebody looking a certain way.
Yeah.
For the,
So that's yeah.
Maybe bigger than what she anticipated, but became a little bit bigger than what
I don't see the problem with that.
Anyway,
Right,
it was a certain way.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes your belly start growing.
So what?
Don't try that, Will. Don't try that.
Wait a minute. I can't breathe.
I mean,
and I looked at my belly. They call it Dunlap. You stomach Dunlap over, and you still called me sexy. Well, I tell you, I was fronting my little belly around like okay. And that's the thing, because beyond the physical, it's how our hearts merge together, And I always want to go back to how we met. Our story is one of the most phenomenal stories of how we got together, and I constantly think of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's been really good. So, I'll come short, and then we're gonna, discussions really quickly. Discussions for married couples. Now, their discussions discuss your future goals, like your finances, career, where y'all want to live, personal life experiences like childhood memories. Some of that can be liberating to talk. To talk about. What made me who I am today, and what you have made me, what I've gotten from you, what you have got from me to enhance the person that I was. Either you're gonna make it work better or you're gonna make it tear it down. But couples should bring something to the table,
right?
That'll make the other one better than what it was than they were. So listen,
I think it's important to note that when God put people together, and when He's doing, you pull out the best in me, and I pull out the best in you, and that's how you got to see it.
That's right. Pull it out, girl. That's what I say. Pull it out. So listen, we want to thank you for joining in this funny sounding, cold filled, sore throat podcast. But we made it happen. You did good, babe. I'm so proud of you. I got some hot stuff for you when we get home. Okay? You're making some tea.
Hot tea.
I'm making some hot tea and let you lay in my arms all night. And then you can cough and sneeze all night long if you want. Okay? But listen, join us here every week here on SKST TV Radio. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, we just want you to get on our show, hit us up at Beyond the Vows radio@gmail.com. Man, I'm saying that faster every week. And don't forget our sponsor, deafchildhope.org. Deafchildhope.org. Sponsor a child today. Anyway, babe, we're the Browns. And as always, we're not experts. We're just married. See you next week.
Some kind of way.